All right, guys, good day for the bulls after the CPI report, and now we figure out where do we go from here. The major thing I've been trying to preach the last couple of weeks, when you're in an uptrend, and we're in an uptrend, a pullback to a rising weekly 21 EMA, it's not all that bearish. Now, granted, QQQ pulls back from 540 into 500, your 15-minute, 5-minute, 30-minute hourly time frames, yeah, they're all going to get pretty ugly. The bigger picture time frame, everything remains pretty much fully intact here. Scoreboard gives it a 13 out of 15. Bull trend, bull structure. The one little chink in the armor here, the MACD line does cross a little bit back below zero. But for the most part, right, it's a bullish weekly chart. It was bullish up here at 540. It was bullish on the pullback into 500. Key moving forward for the bulls, they can't let price back below that 21 EMA. All right, we pop, we fail, we roll over, and we're puking back below that weekly 21. Then I think you got to call for what would probably be a much bigger flush from there. For now, the weekly chart is bullish, and I think moving forward, next couple of days, next couple of weeks, we'll get a lot of our clarity on our lower time frames. And admittedly, right now, things are pretty neutral. 4-hour chart is neutral, the 2-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute are neutral. And, I don't think that we're in a spot where, we have to go back towards the all-time highs immediately. Major thing I'm trying to watch for is, unlike back here, right? Little flush, they maybe trap a few shorts, they're pumping it. Your first back test, everything just pretty much falls apart back there, right? And then they're flushing it, taking out the low, trapping a few shorts, they're pumping it, and then your first, little gust of wind knocks everything right back down. Break the low, hit that 500 level, pop it. Those feel for now like a short squeeze move. Key moving forward. When we do get a back test, can we keep the progress we've made? Right, QQQ back into 515, 510. I think that's all kosher. QQQ back into 500 or lower, no bueno. So patience here for the Qs, and one thing you could watch develop would be our brand new 2-day squeeze. 10 out of 15 on a scoreboard with bull trend, bull structure, and bear momentum. And that might mean that we're not going back towards the highs immediately. Could be maybe a couple more weeks to chop, build up, little more energy here in that squeeze. Then they can work on getting that momentum line back above zero. So could be a work in progress. And then a quick peek here at the S&Ps. Just like your QQQ, nothing bearish about a pullback to a 21 EMA. When you got a good uptrend and you have good structure. They did get a little bit of an undercut there, which I think might have made the trap. Break the 21, cracking a little bit below 5,800. You got CNBC whipping out the old markets and turmoil special. Pump it, trap your shorts, and yeah, if they can keep it above that 58.25-ish, maybe not immediately, but a couple weeks down the road, there might be a path here back towards those highs. Below the 5,800, and I think we are crap out of luck. Squeeze action, we have a 3-day, a 2-day, and a daily squeeze. So take a quick look over here. The 3-day squeeze leans bullish. Good trend, good structure. Got to get momentum. So you'll notice right now things, for the most part, they don't have a trend or a structure issue. They've got a momentum problem. Could point towards a couple more weeks of back and forth chop. 2-day squeeze gets an 8 out of 15, and then that daily squeeze gets a whopping 1 out of 15. So there's your S&Ps and your Qs, and then if you pull up the chart right here, and what I'll do for you is I'll put the code for this chart in the description here of the video. So this is what I call the B10 Index, and this is these 10 names. Google, Meta, Tesla, Broadcom, all the above. Those 10 names in a weighted basket. It's a smaller version pretty much of the QQQ, but for the most part, those are the things I tend to like to watch and like to trade. So put them in a weighted basket, and this one chart alone is why I haven't been bearish. Weekly chart, perfect 15, perfect trend, perfect structure. You got momentum, pulling back to the buy zone. So last time that the B10 Index was setting up near that weekly 21, that was back here in November, December. Push it, break it out, fire that squeeze. That led to really good Q4 and my first six-figure month back in December. If the best moves start at that 21 EMA, then I can't complain too much when we pull back to it. Assuming, of course, we don't puke below it. Weekly chart looking pretty, and then a couple squeezes here. And now from here, if they can take the 2-day squeeze, take the daily squeeze, fire them to the upside, what that means is collectively, in that group of 10, should be a couple things doing some good action. Which we'll take a look at a few contenders in a moment. But all right, our daily squeeze here has a 12 out of 15 with bull trend, bull structure. Again, you got to get momentum. So could take a couple of days, could take a couple of weeks, could also never happen. At any point, they turn up that MACD. Can only call for a move higher. The daily squeeze gets a, drum roll, 8 out of 15 with bull trend, neutral structure, and bear momentum. Really good pop here today, but not perfect just yet. So if we can get a couple more closes above that 21 EMA, maybe get a few more lower time frame buy signals, and then work on the structure, turn up that momentum. Again, back here in December, that kicked off a really good month for me, and for the traders in our room. So with patience, it might turn the current daily squeeze into that kind of daily squeeze. QQQ below 500, none of that is happening. But all right, if we pull up the rankings here, and like I mentioned in the description of the video, I'll put the code here for the B10 chart. I'm not sure about other platforms, but on Thinkorswim, copy that code, and then up here in that ticker box, Control V to paste it, and you'll be in good shape. But all right, to the sheet we go. And I got to give the sheet credit here. This is why I haven't been getting super bearish. Let me show you a couple things here. All right, so based on my scoring system, if you put things into a percentage form, right, on Monday morning we had the overall market at a negative 10% of max strength. The index is at negative 35%, the Big 10 at 18, and the sectors at negative 17. Right, not bullish at all. Like, hey, I'm going to wake up and I'm buying calls left and right, but it's also not super bearish. Right? We're not at negative 90%, negative 80%. It's a little bit more neutral. And then after yesterday's close, we have a total score of negative 1%. And then pretty good progress here today. Total score of 37% of max strength, indexes at 36%, Big 10 back into 50%, and the sectors at 31%. Not fully locked and loaded. Right? We're not at 80% of max strength or 90, but it is definitely progress. Can they keep it? Can they build upon it? And then looking at the heat map here, we didn't have problems on weekly and daily charts. We had more problems on 30-minute, hourly, 2-hour. So for the indexes here, from the 4-hour chart down, pretty good cleanup. Not too many negative scores. 30-minute charts, all back in pretty good standing. And then for the Big 10 names here, we're going to look at Google, Meta, Tesla, TSM, and Broadcom. Although Amazon could be an honorable mention. Again, the key moving forward, guys, can the market keep the progress it's made? At any point, S&Ps head back to 5,800, the QQQ heads back down to 500. Now, I don't care how good Google or Meta might look today. They're probably not going to go any higher. If we can get a good market behind them, I do like them a lot. So for the Google, here we go. All right, so we have a daily squeeze and a 4-hour squeeze setting up. And on the daily scores here, We're about a momentum turn away from what I think will be a nice breakout. Bull trend, bull structure, 13 out of 15. If they can take that MACD, pull that back through zero, with a good market behind it, I think you're looking for a breakout through 200. And with earnings coming up on, I believe, the 3rd of February, that might be enough time here. So keep an eye on Google. And then one more thing here, the 4-hour chart. If they can turn momentum up here on the 4-hour and trigger a buy signal, that'd make for a really good entry. So keeping an eye on the Goog. And then number 2 would be, what do we got here? Meta and then Tesla. So for the Meta, have you ever Meta? 3-day squeeze setting up, a 2-day, and a daily squeeze setting up. Pretty straightforward. Good trend, good structure. Waiting on that momentum. So if they get the shift, they'll trigger the buy signal, they'll get the white arrow. Y'all know what to do from there. If they trigger that, good market behind it, could be good for a breakout above 640. And there could be a path here into 650, 660. And I do know Meta's got the whole, all of the TikTok drama right now, so keep that in mind. But I like that multi-squeeze setup. And then number 3 is Tesla, who had a pretty good day here today. And now we're getting a close back above 400. We're getting a close back above our 21 EMA. 11 out of 15, bull trend, bull structure. It's drilled down to that 4-hour squeeze. Not perfect just yet, but give it a few days. If they can trigger a 4-hour buy signal inside that daily chart, could be good for a nice push here. So I like Tesla, and then TSM and Broadcom. TSM has earnings tomorrow morning, which could change everything I'm talking about tonight. Putting earnings aside, I really like the 3-day squeeze here. Perfect 15 trend, all the above, A+ setup. Earnings aside, if they don't cancel that signal, I think it's good for a move into 225, 230. They could gap it down into 150 tomorrow, but if they gap it up even a little bit, that might give TSM the oomph they need. Try to get a path going out of that beauty of a 3-day squeeze. And then finally here will be the Broadcom. All of the household favorites. Before Broadcom had earnings last quarter, it had a really good-looking weekly chart. So, kind of like a TSM. Today, Broadcom has pulled back to our 21. Trend is bullish, structure is bullish. 12 out of 15 points, and a daily 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute, 5-minute squeeze. I imagine for tomorrow, it's probably going to move with TSM. They keep it above that 21. They go getting some buy signals. Could make for a good push out of that multi-squeeze setup. And then outside of that, guys, even if we do get a better market moving forward, Apple's got a 21, Nvidia's got a 19, Netflix and Microsoft have got a 13. If the Qs do rip back to the all-time high, it'll take all of them with it. My focus is if I'm getting a better market, I want to take my top, 2, 3, 4 names on the board, try to go find an entry over there. Alrighty, y'all, have a good night. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit the like and the subscribe button. If you haven't already, check out the room here. And I will talk to you over the weekend. Adios.